So the closeness with the Lord and the Holy that started as I'm doing drugs and I'm in my 20s you know what I mean? In rebellion and, you know, which is witchcraft actually. But it's just like that whatever I had with the Lord just without me realizing it. And before I knew it, I didn't have it no more. That's what it felt like before I knew.
Wow.
And then scriptures like my spirit will not strive with men forever. And you know,
Yeah.
the fearful thing to stand before a living God. Like these scriptures just start haunting me. And I start taking, every time I open up the Bible, just so happens I was reading about judgment, you know? And so the Lord was really trying to get my attention. I didn't feel right about it, you know? And but by this time, you know, I'm like 28 years old. I'm on heroin pretty bad, you know. That just went from a hurt back to Percocet to I run out of Percocet and then I get other painkillers. And then I'm just like, well, opium's, you know, you want some opium? It's a painkiller. Okay, well, it's heroin, I guess. You know, so just ended up being no big deal somehow. Me going from nothing to heroin was just like, I didn't even see. It's like turning the pot up real slow, you know. So I didn't jump out. And then just one day, man, I'm just in my bedroom and I had woke up that day and I'm always doing 15 methadone 10s in the morning, at night. I have to, bro. I'm gonna be sick. So, and this is a strong synthetic opioid or whatever, and you can't mix it with alcohol. But I've been doing this stuff for years, and I mix everything with whatever I mix it with. Period. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I got this invincible kind of fake little. I'm thinking I'm kind of like Superman in a way. Oh, the Lord won't let me do whatever. You know what I mean? Just because of how I was treated special from the start. Anyways, I found out real quick. God will not be mocked. I took 15 methadone 10s in the morning. I do that. I would just do that's routine. So when I start drinking, I didn't even think about the methadone. I didn't even think about it. It was just like, I'm gonna have some shots. I haven't drank in a long time. So I took I took a double shot, took another double shot, boom, boom, boom. Probably 5, 6 of them. I can only guess how many I took, but I was drinking. I was drinking serious. And next thing I know, it was like, I got some next thing I know, I go in my bedroom. I can tell something's wrong. I can tell, and there's like a presence in my bedroom. There's something waiting for me in there, and it's malicious, 100%. And I somehow when I walk around, I know how big it is. I know its shoulders. I know where it's at, but I can't see it. But this is what your listeners is going to be the hardest thing to understand. Is I'll tell you a fact, and I can't tell you how I know. It's just downloaded. So you know what I mean. So there's some things I'm not gonna be able to explain as I talk about the rest of this experience. So somehow or another, downloaded. I knew that I was dying. The death angel was here, and I knew I was going to hell. I got 3 pieces of information downloaded as I'm still up and awake, and I go. I remember throwing my head down in disbelief because it came with it was undeniable that was truth. Somehow, not only. It's just like when you read the Bible and it's like, this ain't no other book. This sounds true. Something in me has a register of truth. And when I read the Bible, it goes true, 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 true. This is just like when I heard those words, I knew that this wasn't playing around. I was really going to hell. I knew it immediately. So I remember I threw my head down and I was just in disbelief. Fear came over me. I said, Jesus, please, Jesus, I messed. I think I said, Jesus, I'm sorry. And I probably said effed up. That's probably what was really said, you know, but anyway, I just kind of was like, oh no, you know, and I did, you know, and I did know that I was doing wrong. So, you know, I deserved it. But as soon as I did that, as soon as I basically apologized to Jesus, I'm immediately on a ride. I'm going through a tunnel. So I've heard people talk about portals and this and that. I didn't see the thing open. I didn't see myself go in. I'm just standing up, and next thing I know, I'm flying down, and something's got hold of me, the death angel or whatever that you want to call that thing. And it's big, and you can't fight out of it. He's got me like maybe in my ribs. I feel like he's welded himself to me. No fighting it. And I just immediately, first thing I start seeing is people chained on both sides of me. They're chained. The first section of hell I ever seen, and they're yelling out, "Let me out! I'm a Christian. Let me out! I'm a Christian. Let me out!" Cause, sorry, that's sad. Cause I was one of those guys too. You know what I mean? Like I'm a Christian. I totally believe. Well, are you obedient? No, but nobody's really obedient perfectly. It's like, no, dude, you're not even trying. You know, so that's what happened to me, bro. And I was shocked. And fear. The amount of fear that gripped me it's like you just shot up a drug of fear. Boom! Oh, you will never experience this in a human body. The human body can't register this amount of. So, man, you're talking about that right there would be like worse than any punishment ever. Just the fear alone. You're not going to be sleeping or comfortable or having any good time with that. You know what I mean? It was just terrible. And so these people, both sides, and they're full of fear too. It's just the same. There's zero hope for them, but they're screaming out to this whatever's got me. Let me out. I'm a Christian, because they know that that's the only way out of hell, and it is. You know. So, anyways, that was trippy. Let's say I'm going the speed of light, and let's say there's a person on each side of me, and they're no more than 3 feet apart, and I'm going the speed of light past all of them. So let's have 1 million people on each side, and in 5 seconds, I'm going to fly through all of them. Just picture this. I am absolutely effortlessly downloading their file, who they are, why they're there, what they think, what happened to, like, I'm downloading just like and effortlessly, not trying, and just a crazy amount of information, like a mega computer or something, right? So, anyways, I'm just like I'm pretty like overwhelmed from the second it starts to the second this thing's over. I am absolutely overwhelmed, and I cannot take on more. I can't see more, hear more, feel more. It's too much. Everything is too horrific. It's all too much. It's just, I can't believe this is a real place, man. So, anyways, all of a sudden we come to a stop. We fly past all those people. We come to a stop, man, and I'm in this giant. Like, I tell my dad, like, in a football stadium, you know, if it had a dome over it or whatever, just make that 20 or 50 of the football stadiums. I don't know. Huge. Underground, dirt, like rock for walls and stuff, right? So anyways, I'm looking at this, and there's a line of people that are just right in front of me, and they're going from my left to my right, and they're going past me, man, and they got their heads, like their hands. Some of them have their hands on the other guy's shoulders, like shuffling like zombies, like in front of me. All these people wearing all sorts of different types of clothes from all different types of years and different types of countries. Like, they're all just stuff I ain't never seen. And so, anyways, this one dude comes past me, and I get this information. I know things. So it's like, I see him, and I know his sexual perversion is why he's here. And he's like a white American dude, you know, and when he went past me, he got my attention. Just the way he was dressed was more like, you know, he's alive in 96, not 1800s, right? So it was just familiar, you know. Anyway, so anytime I would focus on something, I would, like, let's say I want to know some information about something I'm looking at. Before I get even before I know what I'm going to wonder, the answers just pile drives into me, right? So I look at this dude, and I just start to wonder, like, what's up with him? And I immediately go right into his head. And because they're like, their eyes are closed, and it's like their mouth, like they're just like zombies. So you can't like talk to them. They're somewhere else. They are somewhere else in their mind. And so, or whatever. And so I go right into this dude. This was like I got thrown into his face. Next thing I know, I got his hands. I'm looking down, and it's his hands. I absolutely am now this guy or whatever. And I look down, and what he's doing is so sick, you know. But it says in the Bible, you'll be given over to your sin. So this guy's like doing like some perversion to a little kid, and he can't stop. This is just, it's like got hit play. Here's the reel. You're gonna be molesting the kid. Hit play, and you're just like, I can't stop. Like, there's no enjoyment. He ain't getting no. I'm like downloading everything he's feeling. Nobody's enjoying nothing. This ain't like, yay, I finally got to hell. This is like bad. And so, anyways, As soon as I seen what he was doing, I closed my eyes and I'm obviously I want out right now, right? So I see it, and I close my eyes and I'm just out again. And then there he goes. And it's kind of like a spotlight almost on him. And he just disappears. You know, here comes the other ones. And just huge. And then I get this information. This line is probably, maybe the circumference of the earth. I don't know. It says that the earth groans. I know when I was in there, there's earthquakes, and and when the earthquake happened, information comes to me, and it says the earth, it has to go get bigger because it has to make room for all the people that are in hell. So it's like, you ever seen the continents? I mean, I don't know, bro. It's trippy stuff.